First, though, new questions this morning surrounding the Clinton Foundation. Just 2 days before Election Day. In August of 2010, the foundation created the Haiti Development Fund with an initial endowment of $20 million to help the country rebuild in the wake of the devastating 2010 earthquake there in Haiti. In a 2011 email to John Podesta, the fund's manager proposed over $12 million worth of projects in Haiti. But outside of the $415,000 investment noted in a foundation tax filing, it is unclear how that money was spent or if any of those projects actually came to fruition. Joining us right now is Paul Bonicelli, former foreign policy advisor under George W. Bush. Paul, what's your take on this latest scandal? We don't see that money ever made it to where it was going to or is supposed to go to from the tax returns.
Yeah, and there's no reason to believe that it went where it was supposed to go, which would be real development projects, when you have in charge of it someone who sounds like a political hack. He sounds like someone that was also doing politics in the United States, an expat from Haiti. He had been in trouble in 2001 for not filing the proper reports on election work in the United States. And all we have are these emails that tell us some interesting topics about investments. The truth of the matter is there are plenty of people the Clinton Foundation could have found to run investment projects in Haiti. Their own friends that have been Democrats for years, that have been doing this kind of work. I oversaw our foreign aid budget in Latin America and the Caribbean for years. I know these people. There are plenty of them. They didn't have to set up this private fund that wasn't a proper charity, and it makes it a lot easier to do whatever you want to with the money.
Well, this is a part of a broader story, and I want to get the panel's take on this because there is speculation that the majority of money in the foundation did not go to its intended purposes, that in fact 6% or 8% of the revenue actually went to its intended charities. Well, Anthony.
Listen, I think the most astonishing thing about this is that they did this and thought that no one was going to uncover it. And so this basically was something they set up. They had a very well thought out plan, billions of dollars sloshed into there, and then they thought that this could be their piggy bank, irrespective of everything else, hiding under the auger that they were helping people.
Well, this is why the private server was put into place in the first place.
Right.
So the communication
That's why she bleach bitted
about the pay to play, the communications about selling favors in the basically based on her role as the Secretary of State would be hidden from public view, and that they wouldn't be accessible by Freedom of Information Act request. And to this point, it's just a stop. But it goes to the way the Clintons have operated their entire lives in public office, is that they get away with it. Yeah. Even if they get caught, they get away with it.
Yeah. So if you're selling the Lincoln bedroom 22 years ago, why wouldn't you be doing this today? I mean, that's just the same thing.
Well, yeah,
it's more of the same.
And with these emails, the interesting thing is you have people working with her, her aides closest to her, saying that they're worried about some of the things that she's doing.
Yeah.
So now all these people who have stood by her kind of can't say, oh, no, it was all fine. What are you talking about? There's, conspiracy, this or that. Because then in the emails and WikiLeaks and other things,
yeah, they
were concerned about it.
Even the lawyers for the charity were concerned, Paul. Another WikiLeaks release shows that in 2008, a lawyer released searing review saying the executives, quote, here's a quote, must act immediately to bring the foundation into compliance with the law and standards that govern not-for-profits. What do you think that says about the foundation, and where do you think the 90% of the money went? I mean, if you're only giving away 6 or 8% of the revenue you're taking in at the foundation, where's the other 94%? Is it compensation, traveling, private planes? Where has it gone?
All of the above and more. I'm sure, lawyers are normal people often, and they have a very difficult job with the political people, trying to make sure they understand there really are laws that you have to follow. And even if you don't think you're going to get indicted here in Brooklyn or Manhattan, I have to worry about that as the chief counsel. So they're raising these alarms, but it really goes nowhere. And probably the Clintons understood where they located that foundation and their friends in power in the Obama administration. They weren't going to have to worry about that. I think we've been seeing that for the last several years, particularly the way the email investigation has been going now with the different FBI offices. It's only been some FBI agents that have stood up and insisted that these investigations go forth. But as far as the rest of that money, those are the kinds of things that we will be finding out if there is a Hillary Clinton presidency, because there will still be efforts on many nonprofit legal organizations are looking into these things, as well as FBI agents.
One of the most positive things that I've seen is that there is an insurrection on the Democratic side. I just wondered if you could comment a little bit about that. Susan Sarandon has basically said the DNC is corrupt, and I do think that there's going to be a large group of Democrats that are also throwing their arms up here at this level of unethical corruption. What's your thought of that?
Yeah, I've got a lot of friends on both sides, and over the Obama years, there was nothing but euphoria about Barack Obama. Nothing mattered to them except that he was the greatest thing to happen. It is completely different with Hillary Clinton. I mean, they're holding their nose, and I think that's why this election comes down to sort of like that choice Alexander Hamilton had between Burr and Jefferson. He chose the one that he thought was honorable in terms of the country's interest as opposed to putting himself first all the time.
Yeah.
And I think people on left and right see the Clinton Foundation and the Clinton people as they put themselves first.
But I am always astonished by some Clinton supporters there is a blindness and a deafness to how she has conducted herself.
They don't care.
In public roles. But they don't even acknowledge that there's anything wrong with a private server, that there's anything wrong with even the appearance of pay to play with the Clinton Foundation.
Look, I enjoyed having Alan Dershowitz on the show the other day, that interview that we had with him. But the truth is the first thing he said when he sat down was, these are rogue FBI agents.
And they need to be prosecuted.
Right, and if you said that about somebody...
That's the first thing you say?
Somebody on the right said that about... He's talking about it being rigged, you know, then it's a conspiracy theory, but if it's on the left, then it's not.
My criminal law professor, but let me just say one thing about it, Mr. Dershowitz. During criminal law, what he said was if you're wrong on the facts, you have to hammer the prosecutor. You have to discredit the prosecutor in front of the eyes of the jury.
That's what he did.
And that's what he's doing.
He came on this show the other day. That's exactly
it's
what
called
he
an
did.
ad hominem attack. Attack the person.
Paul,
there's something different about, because Paul brought this up about President Obama and Hillary Clinton. President Obama has been whether you might disagree with everything that he's done in the role of president, but he does honor the office, and he is concerned about carrying himself and his family with and bringing dignity and respect to that office. And
I agree with that.
And that is one of the things that's foremost in his thoughts about how he's conducted
He's
himself.
not going to take $200,000 worth of furniture and items out of the White House on the way out.
That's what somebody said she did when she was first in.
Yeah, she had to return it.
They had to return it.
Return it.
And she
They
said,
paid
oh, I thought it was
fines, too.
mine?
And the Clintons treated the Bushes during the transition with total disgust. They treated them that way.
And I think Obama has treated the Bushes
and the Bushes
better.
treated the Obama family when they were transitioning with great graciousness. Right.
Look, you have to have some level of class. They're not demonstrating that. The foundation is a disgrace to the American people, but the mainstream media is not reporting it.
I know. Whenever I go to
see.
a friend's house, I always try to leave with at least one piece of furniture. You know?
Which piece, though?
Is that not normal?
Which piece?
Those are the
end
things
table,
hidden in your
chair.
house.
Paul, final comment from you. Go ahead, Paul Bonicelli.
I was going to say those are the things that Kat doesn't want her father to see in her apartment. But I do think the difference between these two is really even for Democrats, if they cannot admit it, it is a real difference in character and what they think their place in the world is and what their office. I disagree with, as Dagen said, I disagree with Obama's policies on almost every level, and I do also for Hillary Clinton. But I see her as the office is about me and my family and getting rich, and we've seen that for 30 years.
Paul, good to see you. Thanks so much. Paul Bonicelli joining us this morning. And Fox Business Network will be live all day today, bringing you special election coverage. Stay with us throughout the day, the weekend, and, of course, tomorrow and Tuesday, big days.